So, is Varka bad? Should you spend your Primogems on him? This clip has an answer for you. Get ready because the moment we've all been waiting for is finally upon us. After years of whispers, mentions and fan theories, the Grandmaster of the Knights of Favonius, the legendary Varka, is officially making his debut in Genshin Impact version 6.4. Hello, it's Joe and welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving deep into everything you need to know about Varka, from his full kit analysis, Ascension materials, talents, best weapons, artifact sets, and team compositions, to ultimate questions. Should you pull for the Grandmaster? Let's not waste any more time. The Knights of Borea awaits. So, first thing first, Varka is 5-star Anemo Claymore character. That's right, a brand new Anemo DPS wielding the mighty of great sword, 2 claymores actually. This immediately opens up a lot of exciting team and building possibilities, especially for those looking to diversify their animals to mix and match elements and adapt depending on your situations. His playstyle seems to revolve around, well, we'll get into that in the kit analysis section, but just imagine the Grandmaster of the Knights of Favonius swinging massive claymores infused with power of the wind and the element he infused. On the other hand, it's going to be epic. Alright, let's break down the core of Varka's power. Varka is going to be at C0 for the entire video. Let's get started. His Ascension stats. Varka's Ascension stats are crit damage in total of 38.4%, plus his baseline 50%, equal to 88.4%. This is fantastic because it makes building him strong with lots of crit damage. Crit damage Ascension stats are generally better than crit rate stats innately, because nowadays it is easier to build crit rates than in the past. It is easier to overcrit with lots of buffs from artifacts or teammates. And his crit rate stats are compensated by his artifacts. I'll talk more about his artifacts in a later section of the video. Okay, let's start with normal attack. Varka wields dual claymores to perform up to 5 consecutive strikes. And for charge attack, consume a certain amount of stamina to charge forward, like this. Nothing fancy. And plunging attack plunges from mid-air to strike the ground below. Varka elemental skill, windbound execution. It can be used either tap or hold. Tap, leap forward and slash in one fluid motion, dealing Anemo damage and switching to Sturm and Drang mode. While in Sturm and Drang mode, Varka's normal attack is increased, and he cannot perform plunging attacks. Also, while performing normal or charge attacks, Varka's dual-wielded claymores will deal corresponding elemental damage based on the elemental types of the characters in the party, respectively. This elemental damage cannot be overridden by any infusions. Then, when in Sturm and Drang mode, if there's a Pyro, Hydro, Electro, or Cryo in the party, Varka's elemental skill Windbound Execution will be converted to the special elemental skill called the 4 Winds Ascensions, dealing corresponding elemental damage and Anemo damage. Varka can also expend uses of special elemental skill 4 Winds Ascensions to perform a special charge attack, Azure Devour, that does not consume stamina to deal corresponding elemental damage and Anemo damage. For hold skill, after charging for a while, he leap forwards. The duration of the charge will increase the distance of the leap, and cooldown is 11 seconds. To sum in short, tap E, do no more attacks 5 times, then choose either mini E or charge attacks. Rinse and repeat. Now for his elemental burst Northwind avatar, he unleashed a powerful double slash attacks toward the front, dealing 2 instances of Anemo damage. But if there's a Pyro, Hydro, Electro, or Cryo, or Pech characters in the party, the first slash will be converted to deal corresponding elemental damage according to the priority order of the aforementioned elemental types. 15-second cooldown and cost 60 energy. Okay, let's talk about his passive talents. A1. For every party member from munch stat, the hold version of Varka's elemental skill cooldown will decrease by 5%. This effect works only for explorations. A2. When there's a Pyro, Hydro, Electro, or Cryo in the party, according to the aforementioned priority order of elemental types, every 1000 points of Varka's attack will grant Varka's 10% Anemo damage bonus and corresponding elemental damage bonus. Up to 25% bonus damage can be gained this way. And if there's at least 2 Anemo characters or at least 2 characters of the same element among Pyro, Hydro, Electro, or Cryo in the party, this A2 passive right here, you would want to have 2 Anemo characters and 2 characters of the same element in the party to gain 220 damage bonuses. This also means that Varka's teammate will be quite restricted. Then his A3 passives. When nearby characters members trigger swirl reactions, Varka gained 1 stack of Azure Fang's Oath. What it does was increasing the damage dealt by his normal attack, charge attack, special attacks, Azure Devour, and special elemental skill 4 wins Ascension by 7.5% for 8 seconds, and max 4 stacks. Each character can grant Varkas one of the stacks of Azure Fang's Oath every second this way. A4. After completing Witch's homework, Varka will become a Hexarray character. When the party includes at least 2 Hexarray characters, you'll gain Hexarray buff. So what it does is enhances his special elemental skill 4 wins Ascensions. When Varka hits an opponent with normal attacks in Sturm and Drang mode, the cooldown of 4 Ascensions will be reduced by 1 second. Okay, let's recap for what we learned so far. Varka wants Team from Mondstadt to buff his Exploration hold skill. He wants 1 Anemo character and 2 of the same elemental types to buff his core skill. He wants 1 Hexarray member to be in a Hexarray secret right state. And lastly, Varka wants his Anemo teammate to do Swirl to buff him up. Whew, he's such a needy boy. Now for his Ascensions and Talent materials, you'll need Anemo Gemstones 1, 9, 9, and 6, and 168 Wolf Hooks, the local specialty, which can be found right here. 46 of the boss drop, which can be found right here, and mobs drops can be found around here, and a bit more. Next, for talents materials, and if you would like to max him, you would need a Book of Freedom, 963 and 114. And the location of the domain is right here. Forsaken Rift in Mondstadt. And you also need 3 crowns and 18 of the weekly chest boss. And the weekly chest boss is right here. And for upgrading his talents, you would need these 2. And shit ton of more. In total, you will need this much. This much? Yeah, this much. Alright, let's do some testing. We're gonna go to the Miliaster Wonderland. As you can see here, solo Varka with just his E isn't a complete kit that he is opposed to. Another Claymore he wielded by his right hand did not infuse any elements at all. Next test, now still solo with Varka, but with 2 Anemo and 2 Pyro Team. This test I'm going to do just mini E only. And in this test is charge attacks. His charge attack hits 2 times, so that number's times 2. Alright, the real deal. Let's start with his premium Pyro Resonance team. This team is Varka, Venti, Durin, and Bennett. Varka playstyle is easy to play but hard to master. Let me explain why. His mini-E is almost as important as his normal attacks while infused. That means in one rotation, you would want to press mini-E as much as you can. Most of the time, you would only be getting just 2 mini-Es. But if you do it correctly, you would be able to squeeze just in time for the 3rd E. Now that the rotation is over, let's look at the damage. This team, Varka, did 2.6 million damage, and he is equipping with his signature weapon, and his peak DPS window is 142k. Next, testing subjects are Hydro Team. This team is Varka, Venti, Furina, and Yelan. After extensive testing over and over and over again, to be honest, I was kinda disappointed by his performance. I feel like his kit is lacking something. I was expecting the damage would be higher than this. So I'm gonna fast forward until the end of the fight. The whole team did 3.2 million, but Varka himself did just 48% of the damage, which is just 1.5 million, which is so under par. And his peak DPS window is 125k. Next is Electro teammates, Varka, Venti, Fischl, and Ian-san. The team looks promising, but hey, who knows, let's test that out. Again, after extensive testing and testing over and over and over again, Electro Teams is even disappointing than the Hydro Team. Okay, the rotation is ending. Let's look at the damage. Well, he did about 1.2 million damage, which is 85% of the damage in total. And his peak DPS window is at 68,000. Now for the Cryo Team, Varka, Venti, Escoffier, and Shenhe. I'll let you be the judge which team performed best and worst.
Manifest by ordinance divine. Freeze! Thunder!
Okay, let's recap. Varka did 1.28 million damage, which is 69%. and his peak DPS window is at 80,000. With 4 elements tested, coming in at number 1 of course is a Pyro Team. Next is the Hydro Team, thanks to Furina damage. Without this C6 Furina, you won't be getting the damage like this. Then Electro and Cryo Team, Varka is under par, so I would suggest to play with the Pyro Team instead. Alright, for weapon choices, Varka has some excellent Claymore options. His best in slot, of course, it's going to be his signature weapon. Next is Thousand Blazing Sun, Mawika's weapon. Also, if you have Beacon of the Reed Sea, it's viable as well. For 4-star options, Serpent Spine, Prototype Archaic. For free-to-play option is Tidal Shadow, Black Cliff Slashers. Okay, for artifact sets, his best in slot is a Day Card from Rising Winds. This artifact set gives him extra 20% crit rate after doing the Witch's homework. Also give him an extra 25% of attack. But if you cannot get a Day Card from Rising Winds artifacts, you can get the Desert Pavilion Chronicles as well. Now, if you pair him with Furina, Marechaussee Hunter set is also viable. And lastly, the Shimenawa set. And artifact stats priority focuses on attack sands, attack goblets, crit rate or crit damage. Substats priority, you will want to aim for crit rate and crit damage, aim for 1:2 ratio. Next is attack percents and energy recharge, and then elemental mastery. Next section, TeamComps. Okay, Varka best TeamComps, he is best placed in mono Hexarai teams. Venti, Durin and Bennett are his best in slots. Also, Varka needs his teammate to be one of the Anemo as well. Therefore, Farusan, Kazuha, Sucrose, Venti, Jean, these are his notable companions to pair with. You can also replace Venti with Jean, or Sucrose, Changling and Bennett, or Jean, Furina, Mona, vice versa, replacing Venti or Jean, or replace Mona with Kokomi. For extra healing, you can either go Sucrose, Mona, and Xingqiu, even Yalan as well. Venti, Fishhawk, Yansan is also good. Replace Venti with Sucrose or Kazuha. Even Kuki Shinobu works too. Now for Cryo, Diona works too, Escoffier, Chunhe, Sitlali. Alright, investments priority. See if you really like his playstyle, if you really like him, and you want to invest, I can't stop you with that. But I would say, no, don't do it. For my recommendation, for most players, aiming for C0 is perfectly fine. But if you want a comfortable power bump, C1 often provides great value. And for whales or a dedicated Varka main, C2 and C6 are usually the biggest break-it points. Alright, the million more question, should you pull for Varka? Pull if you love his character design, lore and animations. That is always the most important reason. You need a decent, I said decent, not great, Anemo DPS to diversify your elemental damage. You enjoy Claymore playstyle. You have Durin, Venti, or consider skipping if you already have other top tier DPSs. Notable mentions are Flynn's, Zibai, Nefer with their dedicated supports, or you are saving for a highly anticipated rerun or another upcoming character that fits a role that you need more urgently. You are a meta climber because sadly Varka is not a meta unit. My personal take, Varka seems like a fantastic addition to the roster, not just for his lore significance, but also his unique Anemo DPS playstyle. His big swords are satisfying to play, but in terms of his power level, other top tier DPS's unit will outrank him by a margin. And that's everything about the Grandmaster Varka. I hope this guide helps you more or less. Let me know in the comments below if you're pulling for Varka. What teams are you excited to try and what do you think of his kit? If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button, subscribe for more Genshin Impact content, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future guides. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one, and may your pool be blessed. Bye!